Hello, I'm Renee, and I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up.
And I'm Hannah from Hannah Crafted Gifts, also an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up.
And we're going to show you today a shirt, a Hawaiian shirt. And we are going to use some different DSP today for you. And I guess, what is this DSP called
This
again?
is the Tropical Oasis Designer
Right,
Series paper from the
right.
Tropical Oasis suite. So that inspired the Hawaiian shirts.
That's right. And so I saw some online, and they looked a little complicated, and I saw one that I started working with, and I changed up the dimensions and did quite a few changes with it and created this shirt. It's really easy, it's really quick, and it works.
And it has a card in the back, so you can't quite tell because we matched the DSP. This is actually from the Memories and More card pack from that suite. But you can see it's got another image on the other side ready to write as a greeting card. So let's get right into it.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Okay, so
So I've got the Peaceful Poppies Designer Series paper, and you've got the Lily Impressions Designer Series paper.
yes.
Do you want to tell us how to get started?
Yes, okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn our sheet of paper around, and we're going to fold each edge to the center.
And this is a 6 by 10 inch piece of paper. So you can get 2 shirts out of your 12 by 12 sheet with a little extra strip left over. And then we've gone ahead and scored right down the middle, so at 3 inches on the portrait view. And that's what we're folding to now, as Renee said.
And so you want to meet up those lines as best you can. Okay, you don't want to really leave too much of a gap because that'll be the front of your shirt, so you don't want to do that.
These are modest shirts.
Yeah.
It's like origami.
Yes, it is very much like origami, but easier.
Yes.
All right, so we folded them like this, all right? And so now what we're going to do, we're going to start with the collar, all right? And so we're going to fold it about 1 and 3/4?
About 1 3/4. We'll put the dimensions in the description, but you can also just kind of eyeball it. And I'm going to do mine. I'm going to try to do mine backwards so that it's facing the right way for you all to see.
So we're going to fold it like that. And so what you're doing is, obviously the crease, the fold is here, you turn it around and fold it about 1 and 3/4 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then what you're going to do is you're going to fold it back towards itself in half.
Yep. Creates like a little accordion almost at the top
Yes, yes.
there. Now from here, you kind of open up the folds you've just created, and we're actually going to do a little cutting, right, Renee?
Yep.
Okay, so you want to grab your snips. And first you're going to cut on that second score line, right?
Yes.
About halfway to the side.
Yes.
Okay.
About halfway. So as you see here, we're going to cut. And don't worry, if you do a little more, it's not going to be too big of a deal.
Yeah, it's nice. This card is not super precise. It's like it's like cooking instead of baking.
Yeah.
Not baking instead of cooking, right? And then you also cut down along this side here. Do you cut all the way to that second score line?
Yes.
And by second score line, I actually mean the first one you created, but now it's the second one down from the top.
Yeah, and you
So
just
all the
cut
way-
right down here, right the edges, just the edges.
And this is the only cutting you have to do once you've gotten your whole sheet together.
Yep,
This project's really more about folding than anything else, isn't it?
yep. It's truly the easiest one I've seen, and I did it for a class, and
I was there. It
it's-
was great.
yeah, yeah, and it was fun. Okay, so we can fold it back,
Okay.
okay? And you can take your neck now and fold your neck back, one flap at a time. That's what you created. You created a neck.
I just realized my cuts weren't quite symmetrical, so I'm just
Yep.
adjusting that a little bit.
So you're going to cut that neck and then fold it down, just like
And
that.
that's like a square fold, right? You're creating
Yeah.
right angles, little right
Yeah.
triangles.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so here too, now what we're going to do is we've got to fold this edge right here. We're going to fold these edges over right here, all right? And then we're going to definitely make those square. You're going to take your index finger, put it right in the center of that neckline.
That is key.
And fold down.
Yeah, having your finger there
Fold down
is very key.
really helps, yeah. Fold down, and you're making a neck. Now you're gonna do that to the other side, and you're gonna make them even, as even as you can. Yeah, there
And you know,
go.
I didn't bring mine with me, but a bone folder would be really helpful to burnish all these layers of paper. Because at this point we have, like, wow, lots of, I can't even count layers of paper on there.
Yes.
But you can also just give it a good pinch and it'll do well enough.
Yeah.
And then lastly, you take those top flaps that you cut earlier and you pop your collar, because that's how the cool people do it.
That's right. Then you just pop your collar.
Although I just noticed
Now-
our collars aren't popped. We should have popped our collars. You
Oh,
might have noticed
that's
we're
right.
wearing our Hawaiian shirts.
Yes, the Pittsburgh
That's right.
Pirates.
Our native land, or at least where we both lived for a while.
Yes. Now I could have probably brought my collar down a little bit more than it is. Mine's kind of hidden in here,
that
but
looks pretty
still,
good.
it's still okay. Still okay.
And I love how the double-sided DSP really gets showed off in this project,
Right,
because you get to see the
right,
inside and the outside at the
right.
same time.
Okay.
So then the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna, looking at the front of your shirt, you're gonna fold up the back. And we said it was about 3 inches. Again, we'll have the dimensions down below, but you can also just eyeball it. And you're basically gonna bring that bottom up to the top of the shoulder that you've created where this
Right.
fold is in.
I
So you
would-
want those to basically line up, right? Renee?
Right, yeah. Don't go above, because then it doesn't look right. And you're just gonna go right to there, right to that shoulder line.
Okay.
Okay.
And then really gently, right, because you don't want to tear your paper, you're going to
Wait, up.
fold these flaps out,
Right,
correct?
right. I would fold that first. You got your crease,
Mm-hmm.
and then gently fold as far as you can. You can only go so far with this paper, otherwise you will tear it. So you're gonna gingerly start folding that flap. Now this becomes your arms, so they're kind of important.
Gotta have arms on
Good.
your shirt. I guess it could be a cutoff, a tank top, but
Yes.
yeah.
And you
this
just do
completes
your,
it.
you just do your best on your folding.
But yeah, going slow, and you can always fold a little further, but kind of taking your time getting there.
Right, because you
It's
really
important.
can tear the paper pretty easily.
Yeah, designer series paper is not cardstock. It's much thinner, lower weight paper. So you do have to be more careful with it. So then that's what the back looks like. And if you flip it around, you can see, now I've got my shirt sleeves on the front. I love how it looks in this paper, Renee.
It's really nice, isn't it?
It almost
really
looks
is.
like a kimono to me. It's a little Asian looking,
Oh,
but I
yes.
really like it. And then again, you've got this space back here to slip your card in. Oh, and yours looks awesome too.
See, that's all you need to do, and then you've got this opening. See how that works?
All right, so we've got our cards. Now we can slide those into the back of our shirts. And then we just have some finishing touches to
Yeah.
the front of the
To
shirt.
show
But
you.
look how well that fits in there.
See how nice that is?
So
Isn't that
cute.
cute? Isn't that cute? Now we do have the. You want to show them about how you have the other stuff?
Yes, so we cut out a little pocket. This used the stitched nested labels dies, which are part of the Bird Ballad bundle.
Mm-hmm.
That may not be the name. I think it's the Bird Ballad Suite, so it might not be the Bird Ballad bundle, but it's Bird something.
Bird Ballad Suite.
And again,
yeah.
these are the stitched nested labels dies. And so we used the second smallest one to create this little diamond shape, which we're going to fold into a pocket. We also used the,
And again, here it is, right here. You
Oh,
can see
lovely.
this one, and it just
you put yours in
fits
the other
right-
way. Both ways work well.
Oh,
Either
which
way works.
Which way did you put your? Oh,
But I
oh,
like
cute.
it both ways. Yeah, it's good
Oh,
to
how
show
cute.
both. That's
See?
great.
So you can put it in that way,
That's great.
or the other way. That's
And you
cute.
could write your message on the back, so you still have that whole blank back to use.
Yes.
Mine I think has a pattern on it, but if you used just the standard cardstock, it would be blank. So then we used the In the Tropics dies, which come with that Tropical Oasis suite, and we cut out these 3 flowers. Do you want to show the piece of paper we cut those out of? Because it is
Yes.
just one
Yes.
die. I think it's right there under that
Oh, yeah.
Stamparatus.
Yeah.
But it's one die that cuts out all 3 flowers at the same time, which is really
Right.
efficient.
Right. And so what we did is we take the nested stitch dies And then we took the flowers, which is all 3 flowers, and it just so happened that they're perfect for buttons because of the top small button.
Yeah.
And
So we
then
used
we
them there.
put the aloha on there. And so we did one swipe with all of these different items.
Quick
it was
and easy.
great.
So we're probably just going to use a little bit of whatever adhesive you like to use and put our buttons on.
And I put the small button on the top. We decided to use the collar side for the buttons, obviously, so you see them.
Yeah, it shows up a little better. Do you need to use my glue? There you go.
No, I got the glue. I was having trouble finding my
Oh,
flower.
finding your buttons. They're hidden on the table. We got a lot of pattern on
Yeah.
this table tonight.
Yeah.
And of course, if you want your shirt to open, you wouldn't glue the whole button. If you want your shirt to close, you would. So I went ahead and put glue on both sides of my button this time. So it's going to kind of keep that front of my shirt closed. I didn't do that on this one, so it kind of flaps open, but either way works. So there's 1, 2, 3 buttons down the front.
That's all you got to do.
So there you can see, I got my buttons down the front of my shirt. And Renee's really pop because she's got a really different inside color for
see?
card. That's
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely. So can you tell us how to do the pocket? Because I
Yeah.
forget.
So the pocket's really quite easy. What you want to do is you're going to go ahead and fold it in half first.
Okay.
All right, so you're going to fold it in half first.
And does it matter
It's the
which
second.
side's going to be on the outside?
I'm going to put the orange on the outside, the same as the buttons.
So you actually fold with what you want on the outside on the inside of your fold?
Oh, I don't really, it doesn't matter because I'm
Either
just
way?
going to cut it anyway.
Oh, okay,
So I'm going to
okay.
fold it back and forth because I'm going to cut
Oh,
it right
okay.
in half
Gotcha.
anyway.
Oh,
So
I
I'm
see.
going to cut my pocket right in half.
So you're just folding it in half to know where that halfway point is.
Right,
And then you cut.
right. And so I'm going to cut that pocket right in half.
So you actually have 2 pockets out of one
Right, but,
nested
but,
die.
so you can either, like right here, you can either decide to go ahead. Now that one works, usually a lot of times what you do for any Hawaiian shirt is it's kind of supposed to match up the pattern, and so the pocket should. And so I'm going to go ahead and put that side, but sometimes it disappears, so
Yeah, I
you
think I'm
might
gonna do
prefer
the
the
opposite
red
on
side.
mine, yeah.
Right. And so then what we do with the top of the pocket is you're going to cut off right at that edge. You see your edge, that point, those when you do the nested dies, there's a point for those triangles. I'm going to show you right, if I can show you right. I don't know where I am.
Oh, there you are.
I see. Okay.
Came floating in from the
I
side.
can't even figure out where I am here. So you see that little point right there? That's where you're
Yeah.
going to cut on both those sides. So you're just going to
cut from
cut
point
right
to
there,
point.
point to point there on the edge.
Okay.
So
And you could flip so that you've got, like for mine, I'm gonna have the red on one side, but I think I'll put the floral.
right, and then
On
you
my
put the
little top,
opposite.
yeah.
Right, and then you put the opposite on the other side.
So you probably glue that on first, right?
Yeah.
Glue your little triangle to the top of your pocket.
Well, tonight was not my best night on crafting. I'm making some mistakes here, but that's okay. We
It
have
looks
Hannah
great.
here.
Hey, it looks
we
great.
have Hannah here doing, and so you glue that little pocket flap down. So I'm going to glue my little pocket flap down. My pieces aren't as straight as I like them tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what,
But-
when I did this the first time at your event, I did not understand the pocket. So if you look really closely, you can see there's a nice score line right across my pocket.
Oh, yeah.
But what I did that I did like is you can maybe tell I left a little space when I only glued down the sides of the pocket. And I left a little space so you can almost fit a little something in there, a little pin or something, or just, it gives it some dimension. So you can certainly do that. I'm going to try to do that again tonight. We'll see how it goes.
See.
Probably helps if you curl your pocket a little bit on your finger first. I think that looks good, Renee.
Yeah, so this is where we are. So what, I don't know where I am. I
This is
really
the camera.
don't. Oh, there it is. All right, so anyway, so there you go. See that's, so you just glue that upside down so the points are meeting, obviously the points right here. And that's all you have to do on that. You just cut that top off of that second half of that nested die.
And then I've just put glue along what you can't really see, but there's those little stitched dots all along the edge. And that's where I've put my glue. And now I'm gonna lay it down, leaving that little bit of space again, so it looks like my pocket has some dimension. Yeah, I'm doing this upside down so you guys can hopefully see a little better. So we'll see how it looks to me when I flip it right side up to me.
And then you're just
off.
gonna place it right in there. Right there, wherever you like it. It's pretty forgiving.
Yeah, the glue gives you a few seconds to figure it out.
Yeah, I find out my newer students like this glue, and I figured out why. It takes a while.
It's gracious.
It's gracious, but sometimes it's too gracious
It's
for
true,
me.
it can slip and slide. It's not as good
Yes.
for 3D projects, like little boxes, because you have to hold them for a little while.
Yeah.
But the same brand, the Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue that Stampin' Up! Sells, the white kind with the green lid, that's a little easier. There we go. So now we just need our ties.
Yes.
You want to show us how you tied our ties?
Yes.
Or how to tie our ties? I
So
gotta
our
do mine too.
ties is a true bow tie. Okay. So you've made your knot.
Yep,
You're gonna slip it around.
yep. Okay, yeah.
Okay. You see that? You see now you got two
Two
big-
loops, yeah.
Two loops.
Okay.
Put it through the first loop.
And then through
Put
the
it
second
through the
loop.
second
Okay.
loop.
I've always done my slip knots a little differently,
Then
but I
hold
get you
it.
now.
And like
Cool.
a tie, the one end moves.
Lovely.
And the other end is stationary. See?
For tying my tie, Renee.
That's a first.
All right, and then this slips around, this part I know, this is easy.
Yes.
This slips around the back of your shirt collar that you've created, and then you can pull it up. Mine came undone. But you can pull it in place, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it came
It's
undone?
okay, it gives me another chance to redeem
Okay.
myself here.
Okay.
I got it, you do what you're doing, I think I
Okay.
can figure it out.
But I'm glad that we were able to show you these two shirts in these two different colors. And then, of course, once you're done with that, you just snip your tie whatever length you want, and then you've got your tie.
I did it that time, I don't know how, but I did it.
Yay, Anna! Yay!
All right. Yeah, and you just
Let's
trim
snip
your ends,
this.
right?
Yeah.
Awesome. I am ready to go to the beach. If only it weren't January. You can't see below the table. Under our Hawaiian shirts, we're wearing long pants and woolly socks and trying to keep warm. But how cute. I love these.
They're great. They really are. I have so many in so many different patterns. I was going to help you see using this one.
But we figured it out. Yeah.
And we have this one. There are just so many of them. Here's the pocket. I think the pocket is somewhere here, right there. Kind of invisible sometimes. That's kind of good, they say, for a Hawaiian shirt.
And the
more
one that
invisible.
started it all, the true Hawaiian.
All right, so we hope, I tell you, this is quite an affair
Hang
here.
loose.
Have a great Hawaiian night and keep on crafting. Good night.
Thanks for watching.
Gonna bring this down and we can all cut this off. So that's the good part. We now know we can cut all this stuff off.
Goodness for
this
editing.
oh, goodness gracious. So there's one little thing that you might notice, and this is because I didn't fold it as well this time around. And you can see, but what you can do if you don't go too far, you can snip that off if you want to.
And trim
Okay.
in. Gotcha.
And I have done that before. And on one other one, don't go too far because you'll snip right into your front. Don't want to go too
though,
far.
yeah. Just to where
And
the fold
right,
is.
right. And go ahead and snip that off. And snip the other side off if you like.
That just makes it a little cleaner. That's nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you do that though. I'm not gonna do that on mine right now, but that's a good idea.
Yeah. So you just snip that off. I hope I'm not even in the thing. Sorry about that. You just snip that off. So that keeps it clean. And you can snip this piece off right here also. That was just a little taller. So I'm just going to snip that off. It really works out well if you want to. I'm just doing it on mine because on this one. I haven't had to do, it cleans it up and you can't tell. And so it's great. So there
Now
you
we
go.
can make our cards to go in the back, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we've each got a piece of paper. Where did those go? Oh, they're in our Stamparatus, that's right. So we went ahead and set the Stamparatus up. I'll show you the stamp sets we used. So for our very appropriate sentiment, rest and relax, you deserve it, we used the Timeless Tropical stamp set from that Tropical Oasis suite. For the painted poppies, we're going to use that small poppy flower and small leaf. And then for the lovely lily pad, again, we're going to use the smallest lily and the little leaf. And so we've got coordinating colors to match our DSP. Do you want to start stamping or do you want me to?
Go ahead. You
Okay.
stamp first because you have the big pad and stuff.
Oh, that's right.
and
I'm
all
using
that.
the sentiment first,
Yeah.
then we'll have to trade. Okay, so I'm using Poppy Parade, which of course very appropriately goes with the Peaceful Poppies DSP and the Painted Poppies stamp set and that whole suite. What's the name of that suite, by the way? You've got the
Which one?
catalog over there. The Poppy Suite, what do they call that one?
The Poppies, Peaceful Poppies Designer Series paper.
And that's
And
part
the
of...
suite is the Peaceful Poppies suite.
Okay,
Yes.
wonderful. That's easy
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
And we've got a...
And she's using the, right, the painted poppies, right, as far as the
stamp set.
stamp set,
Yep.
right?
And because we have our stamps so close together here, I'm just making sure that I wipe it off any shadow that I get on my Stamparatus board and then also on the leaf stamp. And what we're going to use, instead of using another stamp pad that could then get in my Poppy Parade flowers, we're going to use the Stampin' Right markers. So this is Old Olive, because again, that's the other coordinating color in the DSP that I used for my shirt. So I'm just going to color that in real quick. It's great. You can use these markers right on top of stamps, both the cling like this one and the photopolymer like Renee's going to be using. Get good coverage on there. Should be good. And I think I'm going to use that green on my sentiment as well. Did we put those green stamp pads away? I'll just use the marker. Probably could have used the stamp pad on that though because it's far enough away. The marker will work just fine. So again, this is rest and relax. You deserve it. This would be a good card for really any time, I think.
Yes.
Self-care is always a good thing. But a good like bon voyage, vacation card. My parents are going to Hawaii this summer, so it'd be a good card for their anniversary.
Oh, yeah.
Certainly
that's
glad they got
nice.
married. All right.
Yeah, thanks.
Selfishly,
Yeah, thanks.
it's good to be grateful for that though. Can take it for granted. All right. And the great thing is if this doesn't stamp just right the first time, it's the Stamparatus. I can just do it again, but actually that turned out pretty well.
That's
So I'll
lovely.
go ahead and pull mine out of there and I'll clean off that stamp for you.
Okay, well, I can get that
got it?
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll clean off my stamps then so that they don't get on your foam mat. Gotta love the Stamparatus though, because again, I could have
Yes.
just re-stamped in the exact same place if I had needed to, or if we were making multiple of these cards, if you wanted to create like a whole stationery set. So quick and easy. All right.
So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to look and see how that looks actually. Yeah, that's gonna be, that one's gonna go here and here. Now what happens, oh, actually I have to do this first.
Oh, that's
Let's
right,
go
yes.
ahead and stamp that first. And what I'm going to do is I am using the Flirty Flamingo, because that's part of our stamp set.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use that Flirty Flamingo. I think I got that everywhere. What do you think? Got that everywhere?
That looks pretty good. You can always do it again if it didn't work.
And then I'm going to use the wet towel.
I just noticed I don't see a clock. Are we definitely recording? I think so. 'Cause I see
Yeah.
the stop button. Okay,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
checking.
Yeah, we are. It's
Okay,
a
good.
little different, this one. So, the better one.
And the reason why Renee was saying she can't actually do the sentiment and the images at the same time are because the images are photopolymer and they're a little thinner than the cling stamps, which already have that foam built in. You can see right there. So to put them on the same Stamparatus plate, it would only pick up the thicker stamp. So that's why she'll have to do her separate.
Yeah. And so I'll take that over here.
And that was the garden green marker you used on your
Yes,
leaf,
and I can
right?
see the tip. I forgot the little tip here. Oh, used the wrong end, but I think it'll work anyway. Let me see now. Yeah, that's it. Okay, here we go.
I can tell already that's gonna look good. I love that color combo.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? All right, so there's that. See how pretty?
Beautiful, beautiful.
All right, and then on this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place this right here. right there like that. And then I'm going to pick it up. I'm not going to worry about the stamp set because it's still in place.
That's right.
And so what I'm going to do then is take this and do what she did.
She's finding that brush end because those markers have like a paintbrush almost on one end, and that's usually what you want to use, and then they have a real fine tip marker on the other end.
Yeah.
Which would be good for like writing, so you could, you know, sign your name on your card with that end,
Yeah.
and then it would coordinate.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if I did put a little too much down there, so I
A little shadow.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't want to.
As long as you don't press too hard, it should be okay.
Yeah.
I've heard if you count to 5, there you go.
Yay!
Lovely.
Yeah, we have a new setup, and I'm not sure that I've got it just right because it's hard to see both of us, but we'll work on that for next time.
Feel free to scoot in close if you need to.
Oh yeah, no, we're fine.
I think it's getting better and better every time.
Yes, we
Got more of the
definitely-
aerial view this time, which is
Yes, yes. We're at least getting a better view for you, and that's what's
good. The
important.
light is not flashing this time. That's good.
Yes,
Although,
no more light
Means
flashing.
less bloopers. Those are always fun.
Well, we also have, I did get a new lighting, so that was good.
No birds tonight. That actually would have been very appropriate for a Hawaiian shirt
Yeah,
card
they-
night. But
yes.
they're sleeping, I guess, huh?
Yes, well, they're quiet, the lights are closed, so the birds are quiet. So you're gonna go ahead and wrap it around your fingers,
Okay.
okay?
Like 2 fingers.
Yeah, 2
Okay.
fingers. Then you're going to take it, so basically you have this, right? You have this,
Okay.
like this. Then you're gonna wrap it around the front, you're gonna take that right-hand side, wrap it around, put it through the center of your big hole, and then it goes through that wrapped center right down here that you wrapped around. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, it's like a slip knot.
It is a slip knot. It's a tie. Ties are slip knots.
Well, I knew how to
So-
do a slip knot. I just never knew that's how you do a tie.
Yeah.
Except
and
I did
so-
something wrong. Let's try that
So,
again.
okay, so again, you see, guys, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with this camera, but anyway. So go ahead and wrap it around. And you see, as I wrap around, I'm gonna bring it through the big hole, and then that, whatever I wrapped around, that little piece goes in there. And then hold both pieces down and slip. Okay? So,
We do have something for the blooper reel. I'm gonna just watch you this time. So
Yep.
here, let's come back on and say our goodbyes. There we are. Taking a stake. There we go. Okay.